This is a picture of my son holding one of our rabbits when he was a little baby, like 8 weeks old or something. And so I've kind of drawn a rabbit on here. Not really great, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think, as long as I kind of have the size of the eye correct, the nose, where the nose is in comparison to the eye, and where the ears are. The rest I can kind of, it's going to be kind of a fuzzy painting. Reading glasses. Some days when it's a little dark, I need my reading glasses to see words. I don't know why. My eyes just keep getting worse as I get old, I guess. And I seem to have lost my coffee. Okay, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I am taking raw umber and I am tracing my pencil lines on the dark side. Like if there's a shadow in here, that's the side that I'm going to put that raw umber on. I'm not thinning the paint on purpose so I can get this kind of like a scumbled edge. You look up that word, scumbling. I had to look it up yesterday because part of me thought that I made it up, but no. It's in fact the technique where you just kind of, just a tiny bit of paint touches the tooth of the paper. This is actually called canvas paper or, you know, acrylic paper. So it's for painting acrylic on. You know, it works for oil too. Acrylic is kind of like a water-based plastic paint. So you thin it with water. Acrylic's like latex, pretty much like latex paint, like the wall paint you might put on your house. Now oil paint is ground pigments that are in a medium of oil. So to thin it, you would add more oil, like for example, linseed oil. Now acrylic paints they're very nice to use when you're learning because they dry quickly. Oil paints will smear and smudge and smear and smear, and you have to wait between coats of drying and very inconvenient. However, I find that the blending that you're able to do with oil paints is top-notch. So I'm going to fill in the darkest points in the painting with this. And it's a good lesson. I know you guys want to get out your colors and you want to put I did this on the exact wrong side of the ear. Okay, so anyway, I can just come back in, and the thing with acrylic is you can just cover up whatever you don't like. It takes about 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that'll be dry and you can cover it up. Since I'm working from a photograph, I've got to kind of stay true to where the light source was coming from. This ear was actually dark in the picture, so I'm really gonna follow the picture this time. Sometimes I just, go out on my own and just, wing it, whatever. And I usually find that I should have been using a source material, so definitely look at your source. My source is my photograph. I do teach art classes to adults and kids, which I think is totally the greatest thing in the world to actually get paid for. Pretty much. What do you think? Yeah, it's very rewarding for people to appreciate an artist. And if you want to choose an area and being an independent artist, you want to say, oh, that's what I want to do with my life. Here, let me give you some pointers. For one thing, I'm not sure that the world currently is appreciating artists. I think we have to you have to be reasonable and say, maybe you should look at what jobs there are in art and just think, oh, you're not just going to be an independent artist. You're not just going to go out on your own and be able to, have money for food. You've probably, if you want to make a living at it, you should probably go into learning to draw in CAD, going to school for that, or, if you can learn on your own. I don't know if there are courses in that, but trying to be an independent artist like I would love to be, because I don't really want somebody telling me what to do every day. And I don't think anybody wants that. I think I can wake up every day and find some kind of art to work on. I don't need somebody bossing me, but who's gonna pay you? The fact is, reality is such that you need skills. Now, this is quite exactly why I wanted to go to art school. Unfortunately, I was unable to, for reasons that were somewhat beyond my control. I tried, I asked to, and got a big fat no. So, not from the art schools, from, you know, the people paying the bills. And that was tough. So then after I finished my 4-year degree that I was you know, kind of forced to do, I went back to art school for a little bit, and I was a loser. All I wanted to do was party with my friends, and I didn't spend a lot of time, you know, learning to be an artist. And quite frankly, I don't think some of the early classes I took, some of them were not very good. One was taught by I don't know, she wasn't even a real professor. She was like, I don't know. But they let the kids just do the art, the college kids. They would just let them do any old kind of trash and call it art. And that ticked me off. And anyway, I ran out of money to go there, and I quit and got a job. So you should learn to do some computer art if you want to do art as a career, because apparently mass-produced is where things are. You know, if you want to make a living, you've got to mass-produce. So there's no great will for people to spend more money on one-of-a-kind things. Maybe just the very wealthy can. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of faking in where that little arm would be. I can't see it in the painting, but I'm going to imagine he has a little arm and a shoulder, so we're going to make his little paw like that. The viewer may not know the difference, and maybe I can pull up a picture somewhere and see if that looks right. But I probably shouldn't have gotten into such detail yet, because I'm still drawing the lines in, drawing the darker areas in. Maybe you're better at sales than I am, and that I would be so proud of you for that. I am not a salesperson. I am not good at marketing my artwork. I am good at making fun videos, so let's just have some fun. Now I'm going to fill in some bright spots. There's this antique mall, and I keep tossing around, and I went up there with my husband, and I keep tossing it around that I want to hang up my art there. There's a couple people that have their art hung up there, and I just don't know if they're selling anything or not. But there's a wall for $30 a month that I could go rent. And then if I sold one painting per month, that would pay for that space. And it's a pretty visible wall. I just can't, they haven't been able to tell me, you know, how many people come in to the place. And I think that's a really important piece of information. How many people actually walk in your door? Door counters are those little gadgets that track the number of every person that comes in the door every time the door swings open. And that they have those at stores like, you know, Pier 1 and things like that. You know, retail stores will have door counters. I don't want like a real defined line. Fluffiness. Fluffiness does not have sharp lines in it. And what we're doing here is we're saying, what does this fluffy bunny look like? What would this bunny look like? How can I tell the viewer this is a soft bunny? It's so soft. They're so soft. Painting's great because it allows you to just stay in the moment, and I don't have to dwell on anything I don't want to think about right now. Use it as a some people I used to go crazy, and I would take art classes, and these women would come in, and they're middle-aged women, and they would go, "This is my therapy. I'm here for therapy. This is my therapy." And I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, seriously, people? See a therapist. Don't come in here. This is my therapy." But actually, it's actually, you know, I just thought it was annoying that they said it. Not the fact that it was therapy for them or whatever, but I don't know. I just kind of, it's just these women. This is my therapy. Oh, what do you need therapy for? The little boys I teach like my bunny paintings, so I'm just gonna do some more. They're always start out really ugly, you know, and just as you just tweak them and tweak them and tweak them, the cuteness factor grows on you. See, I just have a tiny bit of paint on my brush, and I don't want any harsh lines. They can't say you drew something in the wrong spot if it's so blurry they can't see it, right? See, I messed up my eye there. I'll fix that in a minute. The more you go back over certain spots with I gotta dry off my brush a little more. So if you dry off your brush more, you have way more control over your paint. This side here, the side of this bunny's face is the darker part. So I'm kind of shading, but I'm gonna go back and forth. Just shading a little bit, and then I'll come back. And the interesting thing is this is pretty close to like a pencil drawing. I'm using two colors. I'm using titanium white and raw umber. You know, kind of a real muted brown color, brownish, grayish color. When you lighten it up, it takes on a natural color, not like a black. The problem with black is that black is so dark that it takes over the world. It's like it's world domination color. And white, you would think white's too harsh too. Well, pure white might be. So I mean, I'm just mixing. My brush. I'm not even cleaning my brush going back and forth between the dark and the light color. And that way, I'm not getting too much pure white. Although pure white is great for like the highlights in the eyes, when those eyes catch like a little dot of light, and that's the thing I like to do. That's like how I like to finish my painting, is get that white dot in the eyeball. It just makes the painting pop. So this side of the bunny's face is brighter. Like the circle around the ear, which I did not draw yet, but there's like the ear has kind of a circle right here, a curve. I guess I better work it, but I don't want to. Like, I feel myself going, I don't want to work the bunny's belly. Maybe I just need to make the bunny's belly interesting to me, and then just think about it like, oh, I want it to feel soft and round. And who wants to pet the bunny's belly? Everyone wants to pet the bunny's belly, right? So cute. Bunnies are sweet, but you know, they're wild. They are wild. They're moderately tameable, I suppose. See, my first bunny was named Pepper, and Pepper was a crazy bunny, would run all over my apartment. I hope you have watched my other videos where you can actually see the bunnies. We currently have 5. I would like to have 4 to buy a junior New Zealand blue yet. So I may just be stuck with more bunnies than I want. The great thing about bunnies is, though, that they poop a lot. You say, wait, that's supposed to be a bad thing. No, it's not. It's so good for your garden. And we have gardens, and we have like 23 or 24 different kinds of fruit and berries that we are harvesting. We had pears this year, and they were so good. There's really no fruit that I've seen that takes as long, or feels like it's taking as long to ripen and turn into a piece of fruit. Months you're waiting for this piece of fruit to ripen. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's hard. The waiting is so hard, and so we picked them a little bit early. Excited. I'm so excited for all the fruit. The peaches, though, probably, but the peaches are my favorite. I'm using quinacridone red and Hansa yellow. So this is about when the plumber showed up to fix the shower, and so I stopped talking to the camera because, I feel kind of weird like talking to a camera with somebody in the house.
They don't know what I'm doing. You'll be happy to know that $1,900 later, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up right down there below the video. And I'd love it if you'd leave a comment, tell me what you think, and you can certainly tell me where I could use some improvement. I don't mind. If you're one of those wacko people who just love supporting artists, you can go over to my Patreon page. It is patreon.com/Julie Silversmith. Thanks so much and have a great day.